Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PPA Tour Australia. My name is Dylan Kimlin, and we are live here at the Melbourne Championships, about to get underway with our first event for our Saturday morning. This is the women's doubles semi-final. Closest to camera, we have the combination of Mickey Hyatt and Sarah Burr, and they will be up against the combination of Andy Dikasavjevic and Katie Hart. Official Kelvin just having a chat to the ladies. And these set of four are well and truly experienced when it comes to all of the rules within pickleball. There'll be no dramas here, I imagine, and we can get started. This will be 3 games to 11. Should we get to a third game, the players will swap at 6. Should be a pretty exciting one too. I don't know how experienced these players are with each other as teammates. You can see Katie and Andy at the back there. We did have Andy jump in the commentary booth yesterday. What an amazing commentator she is behind the mic. We appreciate the constant knowledge that she provides, as well as Sarah Burr has jumped behind the microphone before. She was very helpful in Vietnam as well.
0-0-2.
Fair to say these two teams got a lot of knowledge behind them, a lot of experience. Let's get started. Andy D with the speed up immediately. Joining in the commentary booth with me today, none other than the superstar himself, Gordon Watson. Good morning, Gordo. How are we, mate?
You're too generous, Mr. Dillon.
Pleasure as always, mate. We've got a cracking game about to get underway here with our ladies. You had a chat to Katie and Andy?
Yeah, this is an incredible debut for Andy and Caitlin. It's their first time out together, and they're already in the semi-finals of arguably one of the biggest events in Australia this year. Incredible effort. When you think about the quality of the teams that are in this draw, unbelievable. Getting the roll. Michaela really picking some nice spots there with her dinks there. Michaela opening up the opportunity.
Yeah, the Yola neck definitely getting involved. Oof. Firepower on display, Katie Hart striking. And Gordo, you mentioned the sheer depth of the ladies' draw. I was having a chat to superstar Jamie Way, who played with Summer Dallabona. What a ridiculous team that is. Unfortunately, they ended up going down, and Jamie said the same thing. She just said every game is so hard.
It's incredible depth. And, well, speaking of Summer and Jamie, they actually went down to Sarah and Michaela, so that speaks volumes about this pairing.
Point.
And they'd be looking to follow up their success at the Australian Championships here in Melbourne, that's for sure. You've got that that amazing strike power of Michaela with the incredible defense of Burr.
Yeah, it evens out well, doesn't it? Bodied.
And dare I say, strike power as well from her. She's not just a defence machine.
Katie Hart trying to get out of the way. You can see that foot of hers is still heavily strapped. She did say yesterday that it's feeling much better though, Gordo, which is obviously a great thing. We like to see a healthy Katie Hart. Great shot there from Andy Dikasavjevic. The double-handed backhand prowess of some of these ladies, my goodness.
Beautiful low drive volley. And again, picking that spot. So Andy on a bit of a roll here.
4-1-2.
So Andy seeing a lot of balls. Patience plus from Hyatt and Burr. And I guess they're really testing
1-4-1.
Andy because it's fair to say she'd be the least experienced on the court.
Especially with the dink game. I think Andy, obviously coming from a high tennis background,
1-4-2.
has the driving prowess and finishing prowess, but Mickey and Sarah would definitely know of her capabilities, that's for sure.
And a lovely angle to finish off with there from Caitlin Hart.
Side out.
The big lefty.
Man, I often say Leona Quinn's probably one of the hardest smashers in pickleball, Gordo, but Katie Hart,
It's right up there.
you would not want to be on the other end of a Katie smash.
Ooh, and getting the roll there. Favourable roll to Burr.
Yeah, really testing that lower limb complaint there from Katie, but she got to it well. Just couldn't convert. Andy D to bring it in.
4-1-2.
4-1-2.
Nice speed up from Andy down the middle.
I do wonder, Gordo, as our conditions here are quite blustery this morning. Yesterday was even worse, with very windy.
5-1-2.
We are seeing a lot of net rolls, so I think the strategy may be to keep it as low as possible, make sure the wind doesn't affect the ball. And we're seeing quite a lot of dinks for our ladies format. Typically it's just guns blazing.
Point.
And Sarah just backed off that one, let it fly.
3-5-1.
Wise move. Oh, great spot by Sarah Burr, showing all her experience there.
Ball's over the side there, guys.
Yeah, solid transition there from Burt. Easy attack. Rifled it at Dikasavic.
3-5-1.
Great hands and a great spot from Caitlin Hart. The 21-year-old just firing it down the line.
3-5-2.
You forget just how young Caitlin is.
Yeah,
She's almost a veteran of Australian pickleball.
I would agree, yeah.
But she's only still 21 years of age.
And I do like that Hart and Andy D are
5-3-1.
switching things up quite literally. They're not remaining on the same side. They're opting to move around a bit more. And that just goes into showing that confidence on that mobility for Katie Hart.
5-3-2.
So switch in effect here. Stack in effect, sorry. Oh, that's a T-bone. Top of the paddle.
Just couldn't get over it. So an effective lob from Burr and Hyatt.
3-5-1.
We've seen a strategy change here for Hyatt and Burr as well, although Sarah Burr did start. Actually, now I think about it, was she playing on the left, Burr, earlier? Which isn't the norm.
Oh, I must have been late to the seat. Oh, great pickup from Hyatt. Great resetting from Hyatt.
Oh. And that's what we expect from our women's doubles format. Just pure firepower on display. Yeah, I must be wrong there. No way would Sarah play on the left side. But then again, she does mix things up with Vish Masan when she plays, both double lefties.
Oh, lovely poach by Sarah Burr.
Yeah, mobility. My goodness, what a shot.
5-5-2.
Nice shot.
And a lovely shot that managed to stay in.
I'll be honest, Gordo, as we see that Sarah Burr Ernie in the last shot, I want her to start doing Burts
6-5-2.
so we can rename it a Burr.
Oh, and Burr got the shot that she wanted. It was a very effective lob.
5-6-1.
And I think Caitlin just changed her mind on that shot.
5-6-2.
That was well weighted. Right on the line.
Oh, lovely attack by Dikasaljevic. The drive volley straight at Hayat.
Yeah, the double-handed backhand of hers is
6-6-2.
outrageous.
Side up.
They've done well here, Hayat and Burr. They've cut back the deficit.
6-6-1.
Now have the service once more.
And again, Burr coming across for that poach. It's obviously a pattern that Burr has had success with in the past. And another lob by Burr. And that's a pretty risky shot over the height of Caitlin Hart.
that was-
But what a shot. It was perfection.
You know, Sarah Burr does play with Roman Estrella in the Gold Coast Glory.
And I do think, just referring to them playing together with the Gold Coast Glory,
Were you ready?
I think Roman has brought a whole new dimension to Sarah Burr's game, and I think that's a lot of the reason we've seen this lift in Sarah's game this year as well. She has become an even stronger player after playing with Esther Reha.
8-6-2.
Great hands. Great recovery. Just couldn't get out of the transition zone there though, Burr.
Yeah, terrific lob there from Andy Dikasaljevic.
A fantastic display of pickleball so far in this semi-final. The women's doubles, PPA Australia, live here from Melbourne. And Burr was waiting for it this time. She anticipated that speed up down the middle from Dikasaljevic and responded right down the middle with her counter. Oh, and Caitlin Hart lucky to get out of jail on that one.
7-8-2.
There we go.
Brilliant spot by Michaela.
I was just thinking, though, that Mickey Hayat has been reasonable this game. She hasn't needed to fire as much. Sarah Burr's doing a terrific effort, and those poach players as well. But believe me, when she gets that chance with that forehand drive, it's coming back fast.
I'm really liking the balance between Burr and Hayat. They just that left, not only just the left-right combo, but their game style as well.
Ernie from Andy D is good.
Second serve.
And Bird did well to get that Katie Hart smash back.
8-7-2.
Look for the drive here. Yep. Yeah, we could hear
Point.
Mickey say, "I'm going to drive this one," and she sure did.
9-7-2.
She got the pop up, and Bird just pounced. Beautiful shake and bake. And there it is again.
Well, Gordo, we had a solid 10 minutes of dinking, and it looks like the ladies are done with that. It's time to whack the ball. We have a timeout.
So some great, like you say, Dylan, some great change in tactics there from Burr and Hayat, and it just speaks volumes about their ability to change their game up and have that more than one-dimensional game. So really showing their experience here. So the work is cut out, even though it's their first time together. Caitlin Hart and Andy Dikasalievich, they are combining well.
Yeah, they are, and I do think, as we can see Coach Mike Newell just having a chat to them both on the left side there, it's going to be interesting to see how they come back here, because I do find that Mickey, and as we sort of alluded to at the start, she's probably the more aggressive player out of Sarah and Michaela, but Sarah's come out swinging as well.
Oh, she has. And she has that innate attacking ability as well. So, yeah, brace yourself.
10-7-2.
It's game point here.
Ooh, baseline drive from Hayat, unsuccessful. That's a side out.
Some powerful drives
17-1.
from all players there. Lovely third shot drop by Caitlin Hart, followed up by the speed up straight to Michaela.
8-10-1.
That's a confidence booster for Katie. Great shot.
Smart play.
Point.
Here we
And
go.
that return going long, so it's game on here. And another timeout, and a smart timeout, I think, from Sarah Burr and Michaela Hayat, because yesterday we saw, I forgot what match it was, but it was the singles match, and it escapes me as to what match it was, but it was Rose's game, and she was up, and she was up 7-3, took the timeout at 7-7, which was maybe just a little bit too late. Maybe if she'd taken it at 7-5 and still been in front after. So I think this is a similar situation. They've sensed something happen, the patterns changed, and they really wanted to nip it in the bud. And let's see if it works to their advantage here.
Yeah, I do find it interesting on the side of Katie Hart and Andy Dikasalievich. They are both rotating. Typically you see Katie Hart with that left hand of hers take that dominant side down the middle, but Andy D can hit the ball hard, as we see exampled here. Ball's called in.
And that's in. Some great attacking from Andy Dikasalievich, but the defense from Burr just too good. Lovely dinking from Burr, really. Oh, that's a great combination. What a great build there in that point, Dylan.
I have to give credit to the Burr-Hayat combination. These lobs, Katie Hart is very difficult to lob.
Oh, completely.
And they're pulling them off with class.
And a game point here. A nice angle. They'll want to get this done here. They don't.
Yeah, the 10-point hump. Did not want to be caught on it.
Patient play from Burr.
Line out.
And great play from Hart and Dikasalievich. They've got the side out.
19-1. Second serve.
It's always interesting, Gordo, with left-handed, right-handed combination on both
19-2.
sides. Middle of the court is heavily contested.
Side out.
And a quick side out in response here. So Burr and Hayat, they really need to capitalise here.
Second serve.
But Hart
10-9-2.
has the answers. And there's that lob again, and that's the second time
Game.
that Hart has framed it. So, and that's an unfortunate way to end the first game, but it's smart play from Hayat and Burr. They've got the first game in the bag, Dylan, 11-9.
I just think it's... How often do we see a team win against Katie Hart because of lobbing?
Not very often.
And it is so windy as well. Like, Burr and Hayat have played the risk, and they've been rewarded with a Game 1 victory overall. I'm blown away that that's actually paid off. For Katie Hart, it's got to be frustrating too. It's one of her signature shots.
Yeah,
Smash.
and I guess that's, where her injury could be. If it's affecting her in any way, it'll be that leap that that elevation that she normally gets, maybe not as high as it usually is.
Yep.
And that's why we're seeing those unforced errors off some of those smashes. But because we don't usually see that.
No.
Not in her game. So, smart play from Burr and Hayat. They're up 1 game to love here in the women's semi-final here at the PPA Australia Melbourne Championships. It's been a fantastic morning.
0-0-2.
So many good games to come.
Point.
And it's always nice to get that first point. So Burr and Hayat,
1-0-2.
the momentum is with them. Can they book a ticket into the gold medal match? That's what's at stake here. A place in the gold medal match for one of these teams.
And I believe the other semi-Gordo will be between Esquivel, Townsend, Cow and Trulick.
Oh, what an incredible match that will be.
So whoever wins this game, you have a tough one ahead of you. Oh, drive just wide for Hart.
Line out.
Caitlin, I'm not sure if the viewers at home heard that, but she said can't miss thirds.
I think, no. Thank you. 1-0-1.
What an overhead. Great angle. What defense. And just wide. What incredible defense from Burr and Hayat. They literally had the kitchen sink thrown at them in that rally.
Oh my goodness.
Like you mentioned before, Dylan, Caitlin Hart has one of the biggest overheads in the game. She really cracked one, but the defense was just too strong.
Second serve. 2-0-2.
Oh, Sarah Burr, stop it. Incredible. What a rally. Turning defense into offense. Sarah Burr and Mickey Hayat. That is some sensational play right there.
Oh, simply incredible, that defense. For our viewers at home,
Sarah's serve from the side, yeah.
We often highlight the offensive capabilities of our players, but they are putting on an absolute clinic on the reset right now.
Caitlin Hart and Andy must be thinking, what the heck do we have to do to win a point? Burr and Hayat just rock solid right now. Hart threatening the Ernie. Oh, Burr getting the roll. There's that lob. And there's the error. So Burr and Hayat just outsmarting Dikasaljevic and Hart right now.
4-0-2.
I'd be tempted to take a timeout.
Side out.
But they've got the side out. Maybe they know better. They need to build something here, and they need to build it fast.
Yeah, there we go. That's good for Katie. And I do wonder whether this will fire up. Personally, like how often do we see players that continuously get lobbed, especially in the Masters categories? It tends to really fire the opposition up because it's it's one of those strategies that's not usually liked, but gold medals and prize money on the line, everything is up for grabs.
That's it. Sometimes it's whatever it takes. But it's not, it's not as if they've been using the lob indiscriminately, like every ball. They've been using it at particular points in the rally, and they've used it so effectively, Burr and Hayat.
Andy's probably surprised that she's not the one being lobbed.
Possibly. Absolutely. And Burr and Hayat, they're analytical players, so they would have come into this match with a clear strategy.
5-1-2.
And clearly that lob was part of that strategy. Oh, what a drive from Mickey Hayat.
That was like a swing ball in cricket, just kicked to the right.
Just incredible topspin on that. Really dipped.
6-1-2.
So a side out here.
1-6-1.
And a bit of trouble, Hayat and Dikasaljevic. Oh, and that's a lovely dipping shot from Caitlin Hart.
Oh, as you mentioned earlier, you can't miss thirds, and wow, that's how you get it done.
Second serve.
And just showing that all-round game. Burr and Hayat, they've really had the answers to every question.
There we go.
Can Hart fire up here?
Well, she just had a great third shot drop followed by that terrific double-handed backhand strike.
And there's that lob again, but wide.
Yeah, I continue to emphasize the wind. The fact that the lobs are working for Burr and Hayat, it's quite incredible considering just how much the ball's moving around.
Oh, great attacking prowess there from Caitlin Hart. Straight at the body of Mickey Hayat.
5-6-2.
Oh, great hands by Mickey.
Yeah, ladies seem to be going toe-to-toe right now. Hart and Hayat. Side out once more. Sarah Burr to bring it in.
Oh, down the middle from Dikasaljevic.
Yeah, it's a terrific shot there from Andy D. Once she gets that smash, rips it away.
Second serve opportunity here.
6-5-2.
They have bounced back. My goodness, 6-5.
Oh, great attacking play from Burr.
Seven, 5-2.
Like you mentioned, it's all of a sudden 6-5-2. Oh, and that one just coming off the paddle.
Point.
Yep.
Did that catch Caitlin in the face?
Katie does have a tendency to hit herself with her own ball. It happened in Vietnam from memory as well. Or might have been Gold Coast Gordo.
8-5-2.
Hopefully she's okay.
Well, she appears to be fine. I think it'd take a tank to take out Caitlin Hart.
Point. Timeout call.
And a timeout called. And they're keen to stop this. After fighting back to back within 1 point,
Yep.
they really need to contain this run here from Hayat and Burr. And this is a good timeout, I think, from Hart and Dikasaljevic. I'm surprised Mike hasn't... Oh, he's coming over now. But so Mike Newell, the coach of Caitlin Hart and Andy Dikasaljevic, he's just come off court himself.
Oh, yeah.
Led the Brisbane Breakers to a win this morning in the Masters MLP Australia.
Yeah, and we should probably talk about that briefly. So tomorrow, because I do know that we've been streaming them as well, so what I've suggested, because we don't technically start streaming the PPA events until about now, whereas the Masters, for our viewers at home, they start a little bit earlier. So I've talked to the team, and they're going to rig up a microphone so I can jump in and commentate
Oh, nice.
in the morning. If you're available, mate, we should jump in and do that. So we can get Mr. Newell on, and he can show us his skills. What a great event it's been too, the MLPA Masters.
Oh, it's been fantastic. It's been hugely embraced by the Masters community, that's for sure.
Yeah, a whole lot of fun.
Time back in. The score is
And the fun
9-5-2.
continues here on Showcourt.
Nice adjustment from Hart. Oh, and just wide on the backhand volley from Hart. So Burr and Hayat on the precipice of a gold medal appearance.
10-5-2.
This to book their spot. And there it is.
Point. Go.
Sarah Burr and Mickey Hayat have booked their place, a ticket in the gold medal match in PPA Australia at the Melbourne Championships. What an outstanding performance, Dylan. That was almost like watching the perfect display of pickleball.
Yeah, I just think it was a considerable lack of unforced errors from Burr and Hayat. They just didn't make a mistake.
Absolutely, and they had a clear strategy and they had a great all-round game, turning defense into offense, using all the shots, the lob. The lob was, arguably a winning tactic for Burr and Hayat.
Yeah, I think they did have more points won than lost off of the lob, or at least it resulted in a point for their side. So, yeah, definitely a fair strategy. And for Hart and Dikasaljevic, unfortunately, their gold medal journey is over.
But they'll be into the bronze medal match, and well, it's their first time playing together, and they've made it to the semi-finals of arguably the toughest event of the year here in Melbourne, the Melbourne Championships. So they've done themselves proud, that's for sure.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, they will have to go up against either the combination of Esquivel and Townsend or Cow and Trulick. So.
I know that. Oh, what a mouth-watering prospect that is. So speaking of which, we'll have more semi-final action, both men's and women's, very soon. So we might take a quick break, Dylan.
Yeah, sounds good. And for our viewers at home, Showcourt 2 is currently witnessing the men's semis. Currently we have Yates and Hargraves taking on Estereja and Gray. That'll be an absolute thriller. Adam Hall calling that one. But Gordo, you're right, mate. We'll be back live very soon here on Showcourt 1 with the next set of games. Thank you.
What's your duper? What's your duper?
Butcher duper. Butcher duper.
And welcome to the PPA Australia Melbourne Championships. It's men's semi-finals time in the men's doubles. And what a match we've got coming up here. The number one pairing of Harsh Mehta and Aman Bhatia up against Australians George Wall and Joey Wild. And we could well be in for a wild ride here.
101.
Mehta brings it in.
Second serve. 1-0-2.
Nice dink rally. Oh, and Bhatia's
Side out.
dink just wide.
0-1-1.
So a side out.
Point.
And that return going long. That's a rare mistake
1-1-1.
from Bhatia.
Point.
And an equally rare unforced error from Harsh Mehta. So
2-1-1.
if you're George Wall and Joey Wild, that's a... You'll take those.
Second serve.
Wall
2-1-2.
to bring it in.
Point.
So Bhatia just reaching for that one. An unforced error.
3-1-2.
Yet to find his groove. And a nice speed up from George Wall down the middle. The professor of pickleball,
4-1-2.
the thinking man's pickleballer, George Wall.
Side out.
So a side out here. Bhatia and Mehta.
1-4-1. Second serve.
That drive just sailing wide.
One, 4-2.
Mehta to bring it in. Nice attack straight on from Wall on Mehta. Earning his team the side out.
4-1-1. Second serve.
Managed to defend the first, but couldn't defend the second.
4-1-2.
There, George Wall. So side out. So second serve, rather. Lovely third shot. And a great spot from Wild. So this is a nice start by the Australian pair.
5-1-2. Side out. One, 5-1. Point.
That's just gone long for Wall.
2-5-1. Second serve.
So both these pairings had
2-5-2.
very strong quarterfinals wins.
Side out.
So Bhatia and Mehta had a convincing
5-2-1.
win against Kyle Watnell and Jason Taylor, 11-3, 11-1.
Point.
So
Timeout call.
a timeout called, and it's Wall and Wild leading at 5-2. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with more right after this. And we're back. That was a rather short timeout by these boys. Wild going to the backhand of Bhatia. And Wild and Wall working both Bhatia and Harsh Mehta.
7-2-1.
Dinking to their backhands.
Second serve.
So you're just referring back to their quarterfinals.
7-2-2.
So Wild and Wall. Nice transition from Wild. Great play from Wild and Wall there. So Wild and Wall actually beat Andy Horridge and Rob Cassidy in the quarterfinals. 12-10 in the third. So they really had to work to make it through. And they're really on a roll here. And a timeout called by Bhatia and Mehta. So it was a story of two very different quarterfinals. Aman Bhatia and Harsh Mehta made it through with a fairly easy victory over Kyle Watnell and Jason Taylor, 11-3, 11-1, whilst Joey Wild and George Wall really had to work for it. They won 11-6, sorry, 11-2, 6-11, 12-10. So that was a real struggle.
Time back in.
And they've also beaten Aaron Blitz and Chris Turvey in the earlier rounds. And a nice spot from Wall. So the roll continuing here for the Australian pairing. And that breeze is still around.
10-2-2.
And it's game point here for Wild. And the net roll just sending that one wide, well, wildly wide. And it's Wild and Wall who have taken the first game here in the men's doubles semi-finals here at the PPA Australia Melbourne Championships, 11-2. So we'll be back with game 2 right after this. And we're back. Welcome back to the PPA Australia Melbourne Championships. It's men's doubles semi-final action. And is that a sign? Bhatia coming across, poaching and going directly at Wall, and they get a quick side out. They need to try and find something here.
1-0-2.
After losing the first game 11-2. They're quick to get on the board here in the second game. Bhatia and Mehta.
2-0-2.
And that's a gorgeous shot from George Wall.
0-2-1.
Placed perfectly, ATP.
Second serve.
The same can't be said about that forehand drive, though. That went straight into the net for Wall.
0-2-2. Point. 1-2-2.
It's 1-2.
Side out.
So a side out to the Indian pairing.
2-1-1.
This pairing made the final four
Second serve.
of the US Open this year,
2-1-2.
and it really signalled the emergence of
Point.
Indian pickleball on the world stage, the success of this
3-1-2.
pairing.
Point. Four, 1-2.
And a much stronger start here from Bhatia and Mehta.
Side out.
But George Wall just waiting on that speed up.
1-4-1.
Just checking the ball. The ball's good.
1-4-1.
Oh, and the backhand flick just going wide from Harsh. Is he going to change his paddle? It looks like... Oh, no, just going for a towel. He was looking at his paddle thinking, oh, how did that happen? Because that doesn't happen very often off his paddle.
2-4-1.
Well read by George Wall. Bhatia going for the speed up down the middle.
3-4-1.
But Wall sliding across perfectly. Speed up from Wild. Straight on to Bhatia. Followed up by the counter from Wall and getting the reward.
4-4-1.
We're all locked up at 4-4 in the second game of the men's doubles semi-finals. Great spot by Mehta. They've really got to find something here, the Indian pair.
4-4-2.
This is unusual territory for this duo. Fantastic hands. Incredible play, all four players.
5-4-2.
And the Australian pair nudge in front.
Point. Time out goal.
And they're taking a timeout, so we might take a timeout as well. And we'll be back with more right after this. So welcome back to the PPA Australia Melbourne Championship. We're back from the timeout. It's men's semi-final action. Wild and Wall won the first game against the Indian pair of Mehta and Bhatia. And Bhatia and Mehta got off to a sensational start here in this second game, but Wild and Wall have fought back to take the lead.
Come on. Second serve.
The second serve here. The Indian duo.
4-6-2.
The championship pairing of Bhatia and Mehta with their backs against the wall here. Nice touch from Bhatia. Great spot from Harsh. Nicely built point by the Indian champions.
5-6-2.
5-6-2.
Point.
Make that 6-6 with that long return.
6-6-2.
Oh, incredible play. ATP defended and then just great attacking play from Bhatia to finish it off. Exciting plus.
7-6-2. Sign up. 6-7-1. Point.
Oh, and just long. So 7-7.
7-7-1.
Just 4 points away from a gold medal berth here for Wild and Wall.
Point.
Make that 3. Wild and Wall edge their nose in front here in this semi-final clash.
8-7-1.
And well read.
Out
Bhatia,
goal.
unusual amount of unforced errors coming from his paddle. And we'll take a break with the score at 9-7, I believe. And the Australian pairing of Wild and Wall are just 2 points away from a possible gold medal. So we'll be right back after this. So a gold medal berth at stake here.
9-7-1.
Wild and Wall just 2 points away from taking out the Indian champions.
9-7-2.
What can Bhatia find here? Lovely dig rally. Who's going to speed up? Such patience. There it is.
Point.
Bhatia just couldn't quite get enough on that speed up. And it's match point here for Wild and Wall.
10-7-2.
Slight confusion from Wall and Wild. Great defense from Wild. And it's long, and that's the match. Wild and Wall have taken out Bhatia and Mehta in straight games. 11-2, 11-7. What a sensational result for the Australian pair. Unbelievable. What an incredible men's semi-final that was. We'll be back with more right after this. We'll be back with more, the final and also of the men's and women's. So stay tuned. This afternoon is going to be incredible.
Butcher duper. Butcher duper. Butcher duper. Whatcher duper. Whatcher duper. Whatcher duper. Butcher duper. Butcher duper. Butcher duper. Super duper. Super duper. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the men's gold medal match right here at the Melbourne Champions between our carryover champions at the Vietnam Open, George Wall and Joey Wild. They're going to be versing Mitchell Hargreaves and Kyle Yates. My name is Adam Hall, and we're coming to you live from the Frankston Centenary Tennis Club for the final PPA Tour event of the year. Sitting alongside me, Mr. Rob Cassidy. Welcome to the broadcast.
Adam, thank you so much, man. Happy to be here. Happy to be in Australia, and it's been a fantastic event. Looking forward to another wonderful match in this gold medal here, so looking forward to it.
Kyle Yates to commence play.
Ooh. Ooh.
And a hot start there, Rob Cassidy.
Took 3 to put it away, though. Not too shabby.
0-0-1.
Nice deep ball there from Kyle Yates to George Wall. The pathway to this final, Rob Cassidy, well, you encountered George Wall and Joe Wild on the way here. You took it to 3 games.
Yes. That ball stays in. What a line call just on the grimace of George Wall's face.
Well, a little bit of wind assistance, I think, Rob Cassidy.
Yeah, yeah.
The breeze not as heavy as it was yesterday, thankfully.
Second server.
But maybe playing a little role here on Showcourt.
Got to find a way to make the wind your friend. Distinct from Hargreaves.
Yeah, just a nice little slowish start here. 0-0 apiece at the moment in this gold medal match. Game 1, if you are just tuning in with us.
Nice slap, nice reset.
And that one just goes wide. Yeah, we saw the speed up there from Hargreaves to Joey Wild. And Joey, nice deft touch back at the feet of Hargreaves there.
Ooh, dagger. Two-hander from Hargreaves.
Just a lot of movement around at that kitchen line at the moment, Rob.
Wild takes his chances on that one. Hargreaves, ever ready. First met Hargreaves in the States. In California. Great player. And a great eye.
When you first met him, did he come over with a strong reputation from Australia? What did you hear about our star in Mitchell Hargreaves?
No, I had zero reputation. Met him in rec games at Los Cab in California. Very natural. It was great. That's where the Brasha sisters, if you're familiar with a couple of the United States players, the Mary and Maggie Brasha. Fantastic facility. He was training there with Amelia. Yates scrambles. They pull the Hargreaves. He drops perfectly. Can't take the net just yet. Oh, and the misting.
Well, that point built up really nicely there, didn't it? But Yates with his feet work, it's quite phenomenal to watch firsthand, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. One of the greatest players to play the game, and his footwork was one of the reasons why he's referred to as the original GOAT of pickleball.
And a favourable net roll there. You can audibly hear that through our audio mics.
0-2-1.
Loving Joey Wild's game. Loving getting to share the court with him at this event. He's got that great partnership with George Wall. What a last name for pickleball, huh?
We call him the Brick Wall, Rob.
Excellent.
Brick Wall for a reason. He buffeters anything he can throw at him.
Yeah, we had a classic of a match. As you mentioned, that path. I was part of that path. 12-10 in the third. Joey Wild's George Wall dialed in. Hargreaves fends it off.
Can't do that one, however. Some great movement at the kitchen line by George Wall, the Brick Wall.
Yeah, and Adam, 3 out of 4 players from the previous event gold medal match out here right now. pretty impressive to say the least.
Yeah, just speaking about that, Rob Cassidy, it's all about consistency at the high level. That's why we see these types of players consistently making semi-finals and finals.
3, 2, 1.
That's right. There's a reason for it.
Point.
Tough miss. Can't have it.
And after going 0-0 a number of times, we've now seen an accumulation of points here.
4, 2, 1.
Ooh.
Point.
Tees off on it. Plays the out ball. Still able to snag the point. Timeout called by Yates and Hargreaves.
Score is 5, 2, 1.
Well, I mean, it's been a nice encounter so far, Rob, and after a bit of a sluggish start where both sides were just trying to feel each other out, we've got Wall and Wild with a 2-point advantage here. And you mentioned your encounter with Wall and Wild. You did take them to 3 games. The pathway for Yates and Hargreaves has been a little easier with on-court time. They've only had to play 2 games in their 3 matches to run to this final. But the cooler conditions, I think, will eliminate that extra on-court time, to be honest. But you did take them to 3 games. And what was the difference between them taking that victory, you think?
It was such a great battle. I got to the pleasure to play with Andy Horridge today, and we brought the fire. It was great. Honestly, we were just letting one out ball away from taking match, so we could have just as well been here today. So it was a pleasure playing with Andy Horridge, another Australian superstar, just another testament to the talent here in Australia. Love it.
Well, that was impressive play there by Wild. Repeated speed-ups by Hargreaves at Wild.
Yep.
And the smartness at the end there, just to let that ball travel out, go wide.
Step 1, let out balls go out. Casual drive, 5th shot drop. Hargreaves seeks to punish, ball stays in.
I was just complimenting him on his intelligence, but he's probably wishing he had a play at that one.
You don't want to compliment his intelligence too much, Adam. I don't.
High IQ, George Wall, ball in hand.
Ooh, forces to Yates and gets the error. You know, technically that goes in the book as an unforced, but clearly a forced error from Joey Wilds.
2, 2.
The cross court from Wall.
That speed up from Hargreaves to Wild is not working, Rob Cassidy.
Yeah, it's a submission. It's a lock. It is the equivalent of an arm bar, that cross court dink from George Wall. Got to catch his breath real quick.
Call it again. 8, 2, 2.
8-2-2, breaking it open in game 1. Not gonna work. Wilds is dialed in since playing against me.
You reckon you've had a helping hand in this? Well, Wild we saw with his first speed-up attempt at Hargreaves and caught Hargreaves completely unaware, pumping that ball far and wide.
3rd shot drive. Oh, Wall.
Side out.
You don't see many mistakes from George Wall at the kitchen line.
2, 9,
But handing the
1.
ball back over at 2-9 isn't a bad thing. Yates and Hargreaves now with an opportunity to accumulate some points.
Putting Hargreaves to work here. Being selective when they go to Yates, but it's working. Here's one.
Oh, and an ambitious ATP attempt there. He gave it time, he gave it space.
That was hooking back, too.
3,
Just
9,
wide
1.
of the sideline there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Interesting to note, we just see that Joe Wild and George Wall are out of position here. You've seen the hand signal now from Wild to switch back to their more common positions. George on the left, Joey on the right. And it works out for them that time.
Yeah, different looks can break it open a little bit. You know, you show a different look and then go back to your plan A. Shakes them up a little bit, opens up some doors. This is the third.
And here's their chance to unwind that stack.
9-4-1.
It's going to be a critical hold here for Yates and Hargreaves. Third shot drive, gets the point.
Well, just like that, Rob Cassidy, we have a game point situation in this gold medal match. This is game 1, first to 11. Smart leave there by Yates.
Very smartly. In these windy conditions, I strive to trust my paddle more than the the wind. Ooh, pressure.
Another ATT.
It's going to be there. Can they settle back in? They do. Smart. Heavy.
Oh, through the middle.
Not
That's the end of
miss
that. Game 1, Rob Cassidy. Well, we saw an ATP attempt made. It was defended. But in the end, that ball stayed live. And we saw Joey Wild finish that one straight through the middle. Well, what a first game we just saw there.
Yeah, it's the biggest way to give Joey opportunity is to attack into him. You know, he's got those ever-ready hands. He's very alert, and he's got the reach to really kind of be in position to handle anything you bring his way. So having the discipline to deny that itch to attack straight up into Joey is part of the equation for success here.
And I didn't think that Kyle Yates or Mitchell Hargreaves did much wrong. If anything, that pattern of speeding up at Joey Wild by Mitch Hargreaves just didn't work.
Right. I mean, I didn't tally every single unforced error, but they were there. And they were not there on the side of Wall and Wild. So just fundamental pickleball. If we could rename it, we'd call it minimize unforced errors ball. That would be a better...
You reckon it'd be better? I think that's even more of a mouthful than pickleball. But
Perhaps.
We're a work in progress. That's
Name
okay.
of the game.
That's okay.
Adam, do you play pickleball?
I love playing pickleball.
Nice.
I'm lucky enough, being where I am on the Gold Coast, that there are lots of our pros that actually reside on the Gold Coast, and I get the casual hit with them at times, but nowhere near as good as this level.
The old casual hit. I like it. There's the smackdown from Hargreaves. That ball is not coming back.
Well, we're now into game 2 of this gold medal match, Rob, and if Mitch Hargreaves and Kyle Yates are to come back, they're going to need to play more points like that, be aggressive, taking balls out of the air. Joey Wild, well, he takes balls out of the air too.
And there's the first unforced.
1-0-2.
Oh, wow.
Body bag on George Wall, getting in the way of that one. Interesting to see Hargreaves now playing on the left.
You know?
Yates playing on the right.
Yeah, I mean, the same as they had in game 1. But I was thinking the same thing during game 1, Adam, is having Kyle Yates on the right, whereas I think he could be much more influential on the left. I think him cross-courting with George Wall would be a gift for Yates and Hargreaves.
That's a nice double-handed backhand there from Hargreaves.
It's a good shutdown. You know, start to casualize those counters. You know, take the pressure off yourself. I'm not seeing any falter and will on either side here, so this is great.
Oh, tremendous touch there by Joe Wild, but popping it way too high in Hargreaves. He's come out to play this game too, Rob Cassidy.
I'm loving this laser focus from Kyle Yates. You know, sometimes distractions can come into play, even that scoreboard in game 1, but I think they're dialed to take this match, and love to see it.
2-0-1.
That's a huge play.
Yeah, a lot of risk, but no reward there. Don't obtain a point, but the feet work was lightning quick and impressive. It's a nice drive, isn't it?
Oh.
Swatting flies, Kyle Yates.
Yeah.
Welcome to Melbourne.
Yeah, I think he really wanted to lay off it, and then at the same time, he really wanted to put it away. So, way to get that paddle out of the way, Kyle Yates. Here we go. Yeah. And that first poke, that initiate from Hargreaves is a setup for that true put-away ball. Of course, Joey Wild is getting that first one back. Nice play from Yates and Hargreaves.
Well, that's the first time I think that speed up, at Joe Wild has actually worked.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a winner attempt, you know? That's kind of the first time that it had that intent to set up, which is super important.
Well, Wild and Wall now, they get the side out. This is now their opportunity.
0-4-1. Second server.
It's great return.
0-4-2.
Sure.
Side out.
Just a couple of errors here from Joey Wild. Handing back serve.
4-0-1.
And even those, Adam, are a little bit forced, you know? He's forcing those errors with those deep returns. Nice patience here. Little poke.
Point.
Hargreaves is playing, I don't know, 7 times smarter than he was in the first game. He's settled in.
5-0-1.
Have to agree there, and as you see, the timeout has been quickly called by Joey Wild and George Wall. As you can see them just having a little moment on the sideline to have a bit of a break. They're not really talking too much. Obviously, they took out the first game pretty convincingly there, 11-4, so they're just looking to reset now, I think, Rob.
Yeah, got to stop that momentum somehow and ice the kicker a little bit and, stick to what you're good at. So, Hargreaves and Yates taking over.
Well, we've seen a much different Mitch Hargreaves come out. He's been way more tactful and a lot more aggressive.
Yeah.
I commented before that the speed-ups at Joe Wild in Game 1 just simply did not work, but we just saw late there the first speed-up attempt at Joe Wild did work, and Kyle Yates complimented him nicely.
Yeah, less of, an all-or-nothing winner attempt versus, a jab or an initiate, and then the next ball, true put away. It's good pickleball.
The players are just coming back onto court now.
2 timeouts remaining. Time in. 5-0-1.
Very nice. Solid.
Highly ambitious backhand ATP there. Yeah. Nowhere near it in the end, George Wall.
And that's it. That's the game you play. People are worried, what if my cross court goes too wide and they can ATP it? Force them to make the ATP. Kyle Yates is going to be there for the defend. Here we go.
What a lob.
Aye.
Just goes long. Well, we don't see too many lobs in tricky conditions, and I would say that with the breeze being a little more swirly than the morning, it is a bit more tricky here out now.
So good. Yates has always had some of the best touch in the game of pickleball. His finesse is top-notch. And, of course, his ever-ready counter
7-0-2.
lives at a different speed. Oh, heavy brick, he gets it.
The heavy brick does get that one back. Well, for George Wall, he doesn't get body bag much, but that would be the second body bag in the previous point that he has had in this match. It hurts the pride when that happens, Rob Cassidy. This is a rally.
Sure, to the space.
And George Wall just too keen there to finish that point. Forces Wall and Wild to take another timeout. Speaking of timeouts, we might take the opportunity to have a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more from this gold medal match, Game 2, to recommence after this quick commercial break. Welcome back to the gold medal match between Mitchell Hargraves and Kyle Yates. Closest to camera, Joe Wild and George Wall, their opponents in this gold medal match. Game 2. Game 1 was taken out by Wild and Wall. Woo! Speaking of Wall, the brick wall at the feet there of Kyle Yates. A couple of timeouts have been called by Wild and Wall. You can see the scoreline has blown completely out for them after taking out Game 1.
Is that net made of platinum?
Sterling silver,
Oh.
actually.
Brought to you by Rob Sterling himself for Team Hustle. Oh, that was so good. On the ropes.
Oh, that was a tremendous overhead. Kyle Yates, he kind of resembles,
Kyle Yates.
well, I was going to say with Marty McFly, Back to the Future.
Oh,
Did you
yes.
ever cop that tag over in the States?
I mean, I haven't heard that for Yates, but let's get him a life jacket and put him to work. He's from the past, and he's still the future of pickleball, so I accept that. I accept that for Yates. That's really good. This is great resetting. Ooh. Yates takes net.
Oh, what a leave there by Kyle Yates.
Yes.
And importantly, Rob Cassidy, they regain service 9-0 now.
10-0-2. Point game.
Beautiful.
That is game and match.
2 minutes.
Apologies, 10-0 was the scoreline. And that point has just been raised to take it 11-0, and it's a bagel.
Yeah. You know, I mean, like I mentioned briefly earlier, just unfaltering after that large deficit in Game 1 to bounce back and make this a long match. We're 1 game apiece now. Going to have a nice, fun Game 3 here. If Hargreaves and Yates can keep this going, they're in good shape.
Well, we saw a dramatically different Hargraves and also some fantastic supporting there by Kyle Yates. They literally came out and blew them apart. And the aggressive playing style was something that caught Wild and Wall completely by surprise, with Wall the one that making a lot of unforced errors.
I mean, just solid in Game 2. I mean, I think I want to say cut in half, but it was more than that. I mean, they divided their unforced errors by at least 3. I mean, just so much more solid in Game 2, and I think that's going to carry over into Game 3. Wall and Wilds have some soul searching if they're going to pull this one out.
Big time. Well, I don't think that the time on court will make much of a difference, but as you can see, you've got Yates and Hargraves, the eager pairing to get back onto the baseline. They have ball in hand.
Yes.
Kyle Yates, furthest from camera, about to bring us into play. Gold medal match, Game 3. 1 game apiece. Final game, who will win this gold medal at the PPA Tour Australia event, Melbourne Championships? Smart leave there, through the middle.
It's a strong adjustment. I mean, if the shorter points are going to keen towards their way a little bit more, that might be all it takes to take Game 3. There's the drive. Great balance from Hargreaves. Can he keep the discipline? Takes the impossible ball. Attacks.
Smart play. Smart play there from George Wall. He had lots of time and space to actually figure out what shot he wanted to play. Went for the speed up through the middle.
1-0-1.
Popped that ball up.
Great get from Yates, but no advantage to be had.
Second server.
That's the sign of a champion when he moans and groans on his first unforced error. I love it.
1-0-2.
Makes me think of Adam Stone. Anytime Adam Stone, the great Adam Stone, made an error, you know he's not going to make another one for at least the next 15 minutes.
Well, there's a small error there from Wild. Just a bit too trigger happy.
0-1-1.
Kyle Yates is strictly dialed, and it's rubbing off on Hargreaves. Exactly what they need. Switching sides at 6. Yikes. And that was a little preemptive, right? That was a little early
Certainly
of
was.
a trigger pull there.
Net roll goes wide. And Rob Cassidy, you just mentioned it before. This will be first to 11, so we will swap at 6 here in this Game 3 gold medal match.
0-1-2.
Mitch Hargraves, Kyle Yates, George Wall, Joey Wild.
Whew.
And a
Unlucky.
little favourable roll there. Mitch Hargraves, he is absolutely smoking balls out of the air at the moment.
1-0-1. Second server.
It's accumulation of small decisions, Adam. And this, they serve, they return, and
1-0-2.
if they're returning to Wilds, does he drive it at Yates or does he drive at Hargreaves? Yikes. You see that spot. It's a similar spot that I came across yesterday on this court during
2-0-2.
mixed doubles.
Woo! He almost got body bagged again, and that point, or that ball, should I say, finds its way in, earning a point. It's a game of precision at the moment. You see at the kitchen line some real,
0-2-1.
close dinking battles. We've audibly heard through the microphone a number of times the ball hitting the net. That's how quick the margins are that we're dealing with at the moment. None of these players want to give an inch.
Joey pressuring Yates here. Relentless to Yates. Oh!
Point.
That would have been his second dish off to Hargreaves. Distributing well, but the unforced error from Wilds.
1-2-1.
Yet again, the net tape has something to say about this match.
Second server.
George Wall just pumping up his
I love
partner,
that.
Joey Wild.
I love that.
1-2-2.
Goes for it. Hargreaves with the follow-up.
Just relentless at the body there of George Wall were Yates and Hargraves.
And I got to admit, these guys were playing it cool in game 1 and 2, but I'm starting to feel the tension, feel the anxiety here in game 3.
Point.
He went all of it there. He wanted all of that baseline, Joey Wild. He didn't get any of it there.
And that's an OG pro move from Kyle Yates, holding that baseline where the opponent has the kitchen line and turning it into a neutral. The player at the net has the offensive advantage, but the player at the baseline has the defensive advantage. Great trust from Yates and Hargreaves. Off the net a smidge. We could tell.
Yeah, big time. That's a big time play, big time point there.
To finish that thought on that neutral exchange with Yates at the baseline,
2-3-1.
they had the offensive advantage, but they went for too much with that offense, and it was well played from Kyle. It's the advanced stuff. Ooh.
the inside out there from Kyle Yates.
Tough miss.
Just goes wide of the sideline on the George Wall side. Yeah, there's some nice little feeling in this one, game 3,
I'd
gold
say.
medal.
The game we deserve. MLP Australia alive as well. PPA as well. Really enjoying the team event, Adam, and the tournament structure here at PPA Australia, MLP Australia. Great to be a part of it.
Joe Wild, probably that ball needed to be taken out of the air, just the execution lacking there, unfortunately.
3-3-1.
You're going to hold here, give that different look.
Nice speed up there from Hargreaves to George Wall, who was playing on the right side, not normally where he would play. I think we might start to see this unwinding of the stack, and George Wall giving that signal that he will be crossing to the left. Backhand speed up from Hargreaves.
That is strict textbook scoring points. Perfect third shot drop into pop-up, put away by the partner, rinse and repeat. Good stuff.
Well, for Yates and Hargreaves, it's a story that's familiar because game 2, they were the most aggressive. In game 3 here, when it matters, gold medal match, they're aggressive yet again.
Tight game, 2-point game. You know, this can still go either way. We're creeping towards that 6. Is there a better side? Have you seen that at all today?
Well, I'm starting to feel it with Hargreaves and Yates.
Yeah.
The way that Mitch Hargreaves has responded after that game 1. I mean, they only just went down. Well, not just went down. They went down pretty comfortably. It was 11-4 in the favour of Wild and Wall. But then the repeat, game 2, 11-0 to Yates and Hargreaves. And since that game, Hargreaves hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah. Hargreaves, you know, he started a little tight. He was pulling the trigger, really going for a lot. He has settled in since then. Hopefully, as they approach endgame here in game 3, he doesn't, you know,
Tighten up.
teeter back towards that. Exactly. If he can just stay how he is and just finish the match, they'll be smooth sailing. But here we go. Hargreaves to serve.
Time in, score is 5-3-1.
Another great timeout.
Well, you just want to try to break some momentum, and they've broken serve here. They'll be on the second, however, Yates and Hargreaves.
Huge.
He's tuned in, isn't he?
Yeah.
Big
Huge.
time.
Get that side switch.
And we are going to see now the changing of ends, a quick opportunity for the players to get a small drinks break. I just don't think that they can be stopped, Hargreaves and Yates, at this point.
They've reached a level. They've reached a level of momentum that, as you said, Adam, that's a good question. Can they be stopped? They have reached 6 first and are now entering the side that both games have been won on in this match. So if there is a good side per se, they are certainly on it. Kyle Yates, fresh as ever. Last medal match in Vietnam, he was cramping a little bit. The conditions in Vietnam were demanding. Here in Melbourne, not so much.
Well, importantly, after the change of ends, they do get the side out now.
3-6-1.
George Wall, ball in hand.
Just a 3-point game. Ooh. Kyle Yates shifting gears.
Oh, through the middle, Joe Wild had his backhand ready to go.
Sometimes when you speed yourself up to try to apply pressure, you're inadvertently just taking time away from yourself, right? And that's when you can apply some unnecessary pressure to your own team that way. Gotta watch out for that.
I don't know what sort of textbook that shot comes from, but that was a hit and hope in my book.
Yeah, if they're not ready for it, do it. Hargreaves got away with one there.
Well, That was a first rare mistake for a while from Hargraves, and he looked a little too keen to pull the trigger on that shot.
Huge wind-up, a little late. Hey!
Just a very blasé-looking mistake there from Joey Wild.
And for Yates, you know, sometimes the game is as easy as you make it.
Yeah, smart speed up there from Joe Wild. He just saw that ball that went a little bit too high off the Yates paddle, went directly for Hargraves. We saw the brick wall in motion there. George Wall, nice little buffeting backhand to the baseline there. They regain serve. And Yates living dangerously, popping that one up. Joe Wild couldn't do much with it. Hargraves took the opportunity there.
It's truly a clutch follow-up from Hargraves. Ooh, brutal miss from Wilds. Brutal miss. It's tough because those shallow dinks, you know, sometimes when it clips off the net, you really have to get that much more under the ball to get the desired trajectory to clear that net. Oh, again, going to the well. Clutch time.
Yeah, I mean, this is danger zone now, Rob Cassidy. This is game 3, gold medal match, Melbourne Championships. Mitch not missing by much there.
There's that gear shift from Yates, you know, on that speed up there, pressing a little harder. I don't think he needs to.
That's a great dig there from Hargraves. Reset there from...
Oh!
Well, we see another side out here, Rob Cassidy, and the ball will be in the hand of the team in front.
It's a high IQ point from Kyle Yates, resetting when appropriate, attacking when appropriate, and then countering when appropriate. Applying pressure with positioning. Forces that out ball. And another timeout called.
Well, while the players have a quick timeout, we might take a quick timeout ourselves. When we come back, we'll have the rest of this Game 3 gold medal match at the PPA Tour event here at the Melbourne Championships.
What's your duper?
Welcome back to this gold medal match, men's open final Mitch Hargraves, ball in hand. Kyle Yates on his right, serving to George Wall. Joe Wild. This is game 3. And really important there. After that timeout was called by Wild and Wall, that they do regain service now. And Joe Wild with yet another small dinking mistake here. And Joe Wild just taking his time on this service, Rob Cassidy.
That's it. Really spreading their wings now. Attacking at free will. Driver's seat, Hargreaves, Yates. We touched on the consistency of these players. 3 out of 4 of them in this gold medal match from the Vietnam event. Off the net and tough. The only player that's not there from the Vietnam event, of course, is Wesley Gabrielson, who is competing at the Worlds in the States currently. Hargreaves up for the challenge.
Well, Wild and Wall, they're not done yet. They are fighting to the very bitter end on this one.
Yeah, and I don't mind that look from Kyle. It's not the look that got them here, right?
Down the line.
Well, the drive and
Yeah.
per se. But yeah, the slow game from these two is pretty much unstoppable right now. But again, you know, knocking on different walls, opening up some different spots. Don't want to give Wilds and Wall too many opportunities with the serve. Hargreaves, powerhouse. Love that ball path on that drive.
That's some hot pickleball, Rob Cassidy.
Gold medal match style play. Still playing chess, even in the hands battle. It's not just swinging and hacking. It's still chess in the hands battle. Oh, huge miss, huge point.
Huge miss, huge point, because it does bring up a match point, Rob Cassidy, in this gold medal match. Hargraves and Yates going for it. And it goes long, and Kyle Yates, Mitch Hargraves, they do secure the gold medal here in Melbourne.
It's a very great performance by both sides of the net. I got to witness it firsthand from Joey Wilds and George Wall, the quality of play here in Australia. So congratulations to Hargreaves and Kyle Yates for getting it done. Laser focus, Adam. That's what I felt like got them this gold medal today.
Incredible. And what a performance from Mitch Hargraves. He certainly in that game 2 was the man. And in game 3, he was just solid. And Kyle Yates, the 7-time US Open champion, well, he's just secured his first gold medal at the PPA Tour here in Australia. He has a swag of silver,
Yes.
2 silvers,
Yes.
one in the Gold Coast, one in Vietnam. I know that this is going to mean an incredible lot to him. He's
Yes.
so happy right now.
And with this gold going into the weekend and after this weekend, he will be inducted into the Pickleball Hall of Fame in the United States just around the corner. So huge congratulations to him and Simone Jargin and all the accolades that they have secured in this great game of pickleball and the great work that they've done for it. So
We can just see the 2 players on court now hoisting that trophy. That's the trophy. That's what they've played for. That's what they've won. What a fabulous match. They did it the long way.
Yeah.
They lost in game 1. Yeah. They went down.
They did not flinch.
4-11.
They did not flinch.
And then they came out swinging. They got a bagel in the second game. 11-0 against some incredible opponents in George Wall and Joe Wild. In that last game there, well, they were pretty commanding throughout and forcing Wild and Wall to have many rethinks, many timeouts, and they just were unstoppable in the end.
Every time you watch Kyle Yates play the game, you get to learn a thing or two. His drops are so good with that ball path, giving him time, and even his drives dip. I think he has the best ball path of any third shot drive in the game, and you start to see that on the other side with Joey Wilds and Wall. Their drive has that as well, so it's nice to see, that level. Kyle Yates is rubbing off on these Aussies.
Big time. Well, Rob Cassidy, thank you so much for joining us in the broadcast.
Adam Hall,
It was a
thank
pleasure.
you so much, man.
Absolute pleasure. Yeah. And you will be taking the court in our MLP Australia event for the local team, the Melbourne Mavericks.
Yes.
We're so looking forward to that, mate. So good luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
And for all our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in to the PPA Tour here in Australia. That was the conclusion of the gold medal match for the men's. It's been secured by Kyle Yates and Mitchell Hargraves. What a performance. What an event. Thank you so much for joining us. And in a short break, we're going to have the MLP Australia event. So don't go too far. We're going to have more pickleball action right here from the Melbourne Championships.
What's your duper? What's your duper?
Butcher duper. Butcher duper. Butcher duper.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the PPA Tour Australia event, Melbourne Championships. My name's Adam Hall. You're joining us for the bronze medal match that will be contested between Katie Hart and Andy Diga-Savich. They'll be up against Danielle Townsend and American Michelle Escoval. This match will be one game to 15. The first team to get us to 8 will force the switching of ends. Caitlin Hart with ball in hand, serving to Danielle Townsend. And a quick start here by all girls on court with Michelle Esquivel. Beautiful forehand to this sideline there of Caitlin Hart. That ball going in.
Second server.
And repeated resets there by Michelle Esquivel.
0-0-2.
They were solid, however, Caitlin Hart with the pure power she's known for.
Point.
Andy Digger-Savage. The light colours on the right hand of screen, other side of the net. Just driving that ball into the net.
Start up.
And Michelle Esquivel now just with a small dinking error herself. Now these girls, all big hitters. Andy Digger-Savage, probably the most finesse on court. Looking for her to drop nicely into the kitchen to set up her partner, Katie Hart, with hopefully a pop-up or two. And watch out for Katie Hart, the left-hander from the Gold Coast, Australia. When she gets on the end of a ball, it generally goes flying.
Point.
Michelle Esquivel, she's partnered up with Danielle Townsend. Both these players are New Zealand hustle players in our MLP Australia format.
Second server.
So getting all the way through to the bronze here, cementing some strong chemistry. No doubt it's going to help this afternoon in our round 2 clash of MLP Australia. Great reset there by Digger-Savage. Well, some great counter punching there from Katie Hart, but ultimately Michelle Esquivel finding that forehand again down the sideline of Hart. Danielle Townsend with serve, really pumping up Michelle Esquivel, saying, come on. Great drop. And that ball goes long, and Katie Hart was going to play a shot at that, but fortunately she missed it. That ball travelled long.
0-3-1.
Andy Digger-Savage pulling the trigger with that double-handed backhand. Finding the net though.
0-3-2. Point.
Good speed up at the hip there, the right hip of Michelle Esquivel. Normally we see Danielle Townsend playing on the right, Michelle playing on the left. Not choosing to unwind this stack, happy to stay in these positions. Great backhand flick. Signature move from Danielle Townsend.
Three, 1-1.
Oh,
Point.
Katie Hart doing well there to actually get a paddle on that. That was coming straight for her eyeballs. Maybe a bit unsettling on that. Aggressive play there. Well, what a power hit there by Caitlin Hart. The communication was strong, but the hit was stronger, straight through the middle.
1-2.
And that net roll, unfavourable there for Hart and Digger-Savage. Danielle Townsend just tying up her shoes on the baseline here now.
5-1-2. Point. 6-1-2.
Nice backhand flick. The signatures back to back here from Danielle Townsend.
Seven, 1-2. Point. That'll be sides. 1 minute.
And the referee calls for a change of ends here. 8-1. This scoreline has got out quickly from Caitlin Hart and Andy Digger-Savage. A brilliant opening performance here from Michelle Esquivel and Danielle Townsend. We've seen some great dinking at the kitchen line, but when we've seen Michelle Esquivel finding the sidelines of Caitlin Hart, earning points that way, we've seen Danielle Townsend with that remarkable backhand flick straight through the middle on consecutive occasions here. Townsend and Esquivel already at the baseline, ready to get the rest of this match underway. This is, of course, the bronze medal for the Open Women's Doubles here at the Melbourne Championships, PPA Tour Australia. We are playing one game, and that one game will be 2:15. We now see Caitlin Hart and Andy Digger-Savage just making their way onto court, getting some words there from Australian coach Mike Newell,
8-1-2.
Caitlin Hart's longtime coach. We're back under play.
Side out.
And at the change of ends, we see the side out immediately. So this gives the opportunity now for Digger-Savage and Caitlin Hart to earn some points, much needed points
Server.
in this match. Chasing down a deficit of 7 at the moment.
1-8-2. Side out.
And that flighty ball just caught Caitlin Hart in an awkward position there. She played a shot, not an effective shot. That's better, Caitlin Hart at the feet there of Michelle Esquivel.
8-1-2. Point.
That one goes long. And for Hart and Digger-Savage, just haven't been able to get any momentum in this match.
9-1-2.
A few unforced errors like that, not helping their cause.
Point.
And that cross-court to cross-court that forced the pop-up from Digger-Savage wasn't such a bad shot, but ultimately the tall stature of Danielle Townsend, she was just able to lean into the kitchen, as she often does. Went through the middle, cleanly hit,
1-2.
bounced inside the baseline. We now have a rig red light flashing for Hart and Digger-Savage. Power hitting from Hart. And a bit feisty here on court between Hart and Danielle Townsend.
1-10-1.
Some great touch in this rally.
Server. Really good. One 10-2.
Just a bit of miscommunication potentially between Hart and Digger Savage there, both going for that ball.
10-1-1.
Hart pushing it long.
Point.
Yeah, unfortunately a risky speed up there from Digger Savage to Danielle Townsend, right in her sweet spot for that forehand. That's a nice shot there by Caitlin Hart. Just a softer backhand roll at the left hip there of Michelle Escobar. Asked a little too much of her. Nice play there from Hart and Digger Savage. Now they get the side out. Now they get an opportunity to accumulate some points for themselves.
11-1.
Coming from a long way back in this bronze medal match. But they just earn a point now, doubling their score. They need to continue on their merry way now. This is 1 game to 15 in this bronze medal match from the Melbourne Championships. PPA Tour Australia.
2-11-1. Second server. Good job, guys. 2-11-2. Side out.
And a quick side out here after accumulating a point. They've given ball back in hand to Michelle Escobar.
Point.
Interesting to note, no timeouts have been used or called for. Nice work, Katie Hart, going toe-to-toe with Michelle Escobar.
12-2-2. Point.
Unfortunately, that was a big pop-up there from Digger Savage, taken care of by Danielle Townsend.
13-2-2. Point.
Well, what a tremendous drop that was from the baseline by the American Michelle Escobar.
14-2-2.
Danielle Townsend loving that shot.
Point. Game. Match.
And as the referee says, point game match, and the bronze medal has been secured by Michelle Escobar and Danielle Townsend. Teammates here, teammates for the New Zealand Hustle in our MLP Australia format. They've just taken down the pairing of Andy Digger Savage and Caitlin Hart. Well, it was pretty much a one-way affair. Caitlin Hart and Andy Digger Savage just unfortunately made a few too many errors, but were forced into a lot of those errors by some aggressive play from from Danielle Townsend and Michelle Escobar. Sorry, a ball was just making its way into our commentary booth. Congratulations, though, to Danielle Townsend and Michelle Escobar securing a bronze medal in the PPA Tour Australia event here at the Melbourne Championships. Well, we've seen some tremendous play. We've seen a few gold medals. Now we've seen the bronze. It's going to be time to kick us off into the MLP Australia format. We're going to shut down the broadcast for now. And when we come back in an hour or so, we will have the MLP Australia format. My name's Adam Hall. Thank you so much for everyone who tuned in live. We enjoyed your company. Hope you enjoyed ours. We'll be seeing you soon.
What's your duper?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Melbourne Championships PPA Tour Australia event here. We were thinking we were going to shut this stream down, so apologies for that. However, due to the gold medal match between Sarah Burr, Mickey Hayett, and Liz Trulock and Pay still occurring on court 2, we've moved this bronze medal match between the men, the open men's division, over to our show court. We are going to have a game to 15 here where we will see a change of ends at 8 points. The first team to get us to 8 points will force that change of ends. Furthest to camera with ball in hand, you have Oliver Gray. He's partnered up with Roman Estereja. And their opponents in this bronze medal match are Aman Bhatia and Harsh Mehta. All of our MLP Australia stars on court right now here at the Melbourne Championships.
3-0-2. Side out.
Nice backhand there from Mehta to the feet of Estereja.
Point. 1-3-1.
Some fast hands there from Aman Bhatia.
1-3-2.
One of the stars for the Eastern Rush, Aman Bhatia. Harsh Mehta through the middle. He's there, right time, right place.
2-3-2.
And as you can hear some applause, that's happening next door on our court number 2. Mickey Hyatt and Sarah Burr have taken the gold in the Open Women's. Tremendous result. Congratulations to those two players.
3-3-2. Side out. 3-3-1.
Great work there by Ollie Gray. Just made some space for himself. Got on top of that backhand flick. Caused the pop-up. Estereja with the finish. And a nice lob there by Estereja, but unfortunately the attempt did not find its way inside the baseline. Went long. And Estereja and Gray just getting in each other's way there. Bhatia just saying that ball had a small crack in it. And the ball's been replaced now. Bhatia with ball in hand to bring us back into play.
Second server. 3-4-2. Point.
Nice stinking battle there between Estereja and Bhatia.
4-4-2.
Bhatia winning that one on that occasion, forcing a small error from Estereja.
Side out.
And Ollie Gray again with the backhand flick, finding the sideline of Bhatia.
4-4-1.
That ball in. Reset. Back-to-back resets. That one goes long, however. Estereja. Well, he's judging the ball very well. But Estereja and Gray finding from time to time they are stuck on their own baseline, unable to get into the kitchen.
4-4-1.
Tension building in this rally. And Gray pulls the trigger way too early, trying something Completely different to what he normally would. On top of that backhand flick again. And Bartier just missing that one there on that occasion, but a couple of wry smiles exchanged between Bartier and Estereja. Estereja counting himself a little lucky there. Bartier with so much power on that paddle. And you just saw it there. Just finding the inside of that sideline of Estereja. And a bit more breezy in the afternoon than it has been this morning. And you saw the ball just sailing wide of the sideline there. Conditions nowhere near as rough as yesterday, where it was very breezy. And the change of ends has been initiated by Bartier and Harsh Mehta. They have definitely been the ones that have been more tactful with their strategy, better with their execution. For Ollie Gray, he's performed quite well. He's got a number of backhand flicks, standing over the ball. Don't have to chase down too much of a deficit, but we are first to 15 here in this bronze medal match. Open Men's PPA Tour Australia. There's that backhand flick from Barry George, Oliver Gray.
4-8-1.
That was a really good battle for Estereja and Gray to actually win on that occasion.
5-8-1.
They earned themselves a point, and then, unfortunately, that serve goes wide off the Gray paddle.
5-8-2.
Yeah, through the middle there. That ball way too high. Well left there by Ollie Gray. A very brave speed up there from Estereja. Mehta was ready for it. Initiated the battle. Estereja and Gray earn a valuable point.
Point. 9-5-2. Side out.
We can see now, as we get close to the end of this match, the exchanges actually getting a whole lot quicker.
Point.
Bartier with the unsuccessful Ernie there, going big.
6-9-1. Call that again. 6-9-1.
A point of conjecture here. That ball hit the net, rolled. Gray and Estereja did think it hit the shirt of Mehta. Mehta said no. That ball goes long off the Bartier paddle. Sat up there nice and high for a long time.
7-9-2.
Great shot there through the middle. Again, on the backhand side of Ollie Gray.
8-9-2. Point.
And I believe a timeout may have been called. Timeout may have been called actually by Meta and Bartier in this bronze medal match. Coming to you live from the Frankston Centenary Tennis Club here in Melbourne, Australia for PPA Tour. Well, Meta and Bartier, they definitely were the dominant ones throughout the first part of this match, forcing the change of ends. But since then, we've seen Gray and Estereja slowly climbing back up to almost level this match. Oliver Gray, ball in hand, bringing us back into service. Yeah, really solid movement there at the net by Estereja. Just forcing Meta to think and rethink what shot he's going to play next. Yeah, that lob just not high enough, not effective enough either.
Nine, 10, 1.
And that ball just going long. Down the middle, it was open. Meta and Bardia had an opportunity there. Oh, beautiful there by Meta. Finding the sideline on the Estereja.
10-10-2.
Well, you don't see Aman Bartier lose many dink battles. Shakes of the head. A little annoyed at himself. No doubt he's going to tidy that up very quickly. Such is the class of Aman Bartier. Yeah, smart play there by Bartier. Just setting himself up so nicely. That ball gets popped up. He finishes it. Joola fast 40, just taking an off-court excursion here. We found it now. Roman Estereja to bring us back into play. Switch of hands there from Estereja. Oh, Ernie, a crisp Ernie goes bang, Aman Bartier.
10-10-1. Point.
And if you are just tuning in,
11-10-1.
this is a bronze medal match. We are going to 15. Must win by 2. We've already seen the change of ends. Bartier and Meta forcing that change of the ends. But largely since the change of ends, we've seen Gray and Estereja climb back up in the points.
11-10-2.
Leveling this one. Going to make a real game of it, but that was a tremendous drop there by Meta.
12-10-2.
ATP, and he gets the body bag, and it finds its way all the way up Aman Bartier's shorts. And he retrieves it.
10-12-1.
Well, Bartier just a little wary at the kitchen line now. Protecting the family jewels.
11-10-1. Yeah, correction. Referee error. 11-12-1.
Oh, what an angle for Meta. Estereja has gone the lob. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in this. Hasn't come off for him.
11, 12,
And that ball by Meta was the most powerfully struck.
Side up.
Well, he went fishing there for a little bit of brim on the hat of Bartier, but he did not find it.
11-1.
Favourable net roll there for Meta. Ollie Gray, a little unlucky in that exchange.
13-11-1.
This is a nice passage of play here from Meta. He's certainly taking control as we crescendo to the end of this match. And now have a match point opportunity here in this bronze medal.
Second server.
And he gives it away. Went on a great run there. However, second server, Aman Bartier. Another match point opportunity. Goes to the lob.
Side out.
ATP attempt on the Meta backhand goes long.
11-14.
Estereja and Gray saving match point.
Second server. 11-14-2.
Meta through the middle. Just great patience there by Meta.
14-11-1.
Striking, executing that ball so well. Another match point opportunity here for Meta and Bartier.
Second server. 14-11-2. Side out. 11-14. Timeout called.
The timeout has been called by Bartier and Meta. I did think that ball was in, however, the referee was right on top of it. And this is, of course, the bronze medal match for the Open Men's Division. 1 game to 15 here. Bartier and Meta, quite the formidable pairing. They've, of course, won our Gold Coast Open event, our first event of the second half of the PPA Tour Australia season. And for Ollie Gray and Roman Estereja, they are in this fight. We are not giving it up lightly. They do have service here with Roman Estereja from all the way over in Pasadena, California, joining us for our MLP Australia format.
Score is 11-14-1.
And here he is with ball in hand now, ready to bring us back into play. Bang goes Bartier.
Eleven, 14, 2. Side out.
And for Esterreja and Gray, they hand back service. Can they starve
14,
off
11, 1.
the second match point here? No, they can't. The bronze medal has been secured by Bartier and Meta, and that's a pretty good performance there, you'd have to say, for Meta and Bartier. They had the control for most of that match there from the outset, but a tremendous performance there from Ollie Gray and Roman Esterreja to fight back to make it a match. I was very impressed, actually, with Ollie Gray a number of times there on his backhand flick. He met the challenge of Bartier and Meta, but ultimately Bartier and Meta just too classy in the end and got it done in tricky conditions here at the Melbourne Open. Well, that does conclude our broadcast now. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in. Of course, we will have the MLP Australia format commencing in a couple of hours' time. Make sure you do tune back in to join us there. Thank you so much for your company. And we wish you all the best. We'll see you soon from the Melbourne Championships here from the Frankston Centenary Tennis Club.